Future JJ here. Thanks you guys for coming back, because you just saw part 1. It's now time for part 2 of our podcast with JJ and Campy. Don't forget, like and subscribe if you do enjoy all the stuff we do on this channel. Hope you guys enjoy. I mean, we've talked so much about where your stuff came from and what you've done in your area, because obviously I'm hitting almost 49 and you're what now?
41.
So you still have life ahead of you, but at the same time it's like we both have done a lot.
It's true.
But in a sense, as we grow older, this is something I like to point out to a lot of people. Like, we are our own brand. We are our own aura. So when I went out and did my own thing, I mean, it was hard for me because I didn't know anybody, because I was basically just doing my own thing. You basically were in your area and you were still known, whether you were in your nursing time, whether you were in the hardware store. You were still being called upon, notified. Hey, I need this. I need this. I need that. Hey, will you come on, hang out here? Hey, let's all do this. Let's all do that. This is where all the people we just talked about. It's the name Inner Circle.
It's true.
That was, I mean, that pretty much all those people you talked about.
We became the Inner Circle. It was not like, let's put a group together or an organization. It just gelled. And that was who we were. We were the Inner Circle.
On a side note, by the way, when AEW, and I think I messaged you on this, when AEW wrestling started, Chris Jericho's first faction
was the Inner Circle. I remember that.
So I was like,
we have no.
Well, I don't know if it can't copyright. Well, it's no longer now. So it's not like saying, oh, you can have the ownership of that now. But that's just the connection of what you had with all the people that you knew.
Yeah. And I wasn't like the popular kid in school or anything like that. I was just a regular dude trying to get through. And I think that's what brought people to me, is everyone is just, a regular dude just trying to get through life, or a regular woman just trying to get through life. And that's how I got people to, I don't know, follow me, group around me.
It was almost, I mean, it's not necessarily like the old Pied Piper type of thing.
Right.
When you are somebody that has a presence, whether, and trust me, my class, there was a lot of iconic people that people knew, whether from 7th grade up.
That's in anywhere, any high school. You have your icons. You have your people who are top dog, alpha male, whatever you want to call it.
Your iconic groups.
Yep, your iconic groups.
Groupies or
cliques, whatever. But I was just being me. I just was like, you know what? Who cares? I'm just gonna be myself, and that's what I did.
And sometimes people, when they draw from you, it also becomes, it's like I said, not necessarily an aura type of thing. You're charismatic. Sometimes you're like as chill as the next person, but when something is on, whether it's something Nintendo, Zelda related, graphics, movies, biggest thing for you was Star Wars. You're a big Star Wars buff. People jumped and be like, I don't know who this is. Oh, I know. Campy knows it. They'll run to you.
That's true.
What got you into Star Wars?
My dad, actually. When I was a little wee baby.
This is going to be news to me.
Literally had 2 movies I would watch. That my parents would just, go watch your movies. And it was 1, Return of the Jedi. You know 2?
Mm-hmm.
What was 2?
I think it was the first one, wasn't it?
No.
It was Jaws.
Yes.
It was Jaws.
So 2 movies. Right. The 2 movies that I loved when I was growing up: Return of the Jedi and Jaws.
The original one. The first one.
Yes, exactly. Not Jaws 2. I mean, Jaws 2 is like whatever, but Jaws number 1, the real one. Yeah.
And I'm sorry, Jaws still messes me for life. But in a long sense. But when you got into Star Wars and all that, the first one you saw was Return of the Jedi.
Return of the Jedi, yeah.
Then you got to the other ones. You got to the first one and the second one.
Yep.
Then you really got to the point where you started. You might be that one person it could be one of those things where it's the old saying, needle in a haystack.
Mm-hmm.
That could be like, where did this person come from? You know its race. You know what planet they came from. They have all the weirdest names in the world.
Yep.
Doesn't matter if it's a Star Wars name. Doesn't matter if it's a game. Doesn't matter if it's the movie. You'd recognize who, I don't know, for example, who Sasha Banks played in The Mandalorian.
Who is Sasha Banks?
That was that wrestler.
Oh.
But did you? I mean, are you big into The Mandalorian?
I mean, I like it, but I'm more,
the original
trilogy. Yeah,
that's but I mean, all this stuff there, like you would know Osaka.
Yeah.
So you remember her. You remember Grievous, General Grievous, and all that stuff. So you know the new stuff too as well. Phantom Menace and
we camped out for Phantom Menace and for Attack of the Clones
and for the Sith too.
We did.
If you guys did not do that too, camping out, just like if you're waiting for concert tickets, camping out, and we wrote a journal. You did. You had a journal
over there in the corner.
You still have the journal from that, and we all passed it around.
Yeah,
made some great friends. Some of the original Inner Circle people that you were with all found their way to the balcony, and it became one good big balcony party.
It was a balcony party.
Absolutely, that was one of the coolest things, and it got me into Star Wars a little bit. I am not Star Wars hardcore like you were. You still have books. You still know the stories. You still have action
figures.
You still have action figures. You played majority of the games.
Oh yeah.
But I would not know a whole heck of a lot of where these people came from. Like there's still people that are still iffy and whether or not Jar Jar Binks should have even been in the story.
That's a debate for another time.
And I'm like, whatever. But I kind of got into it when Phantom Menace came out because that's the origination of where Anakin came from.
Okay.
But as it got more on, Attack of the Clones was almost kind of more of a love story.
It was terrible.
And you weren't a fan of that one. Though you got to see where the planet was, where the clones were done. And it was that nothing but rain. And that was
Kamino was the planet.
Kamino was the planet. And Obi-Wan met with, who was Boba Fett's son?
Jango Fett.
And that's where a lot of people wonder where that person came from. And then I thought Sith was just amazing.
Oh yeah.
I mean, you don't have to like all of them, but
it was emotional. For any fan, it's an emotional one.
Especially if you ever found out how Anakin became Darth Vader, it was just. And who would have thought a volcanic planet?
I mean, it's written, but it's okay.
It is.
You weren't in the books. I get it.
It is. It is whatever. And I eventually, one of these days, we'll get to finish the rest of them because I saw the Force Awakens.
Mm-hmm.
And, we get to the rest of them when I get to it. But it's a different story.
Yeah.
But it's also past that. We remembered what you remembered from Star Wars and all that, doing all that. But at the same time, that brings your inner circle together because they all wanted to become a part of this.
That's true. They did, yeah. I mean, in the balcony party wasn't even intended. It's that I wanted to sit in the balcony. Jimmy Jam was in the balcony. Mike, Bodon. I mean, it was just a bunch of us just got, sat first row front, the balcony, boom, right there. And the next thing you know, here comes a whole crowd. And it just became one huge balcony party.
Because they just remembered who was in the front of the line.
Yeah.
Besides the one dude. Besides Eric.
Oh, Eric was.
He was the first one, obviously.
Yeah, it was Eric, myself.
And then I showed up after work or something.
Yeah. Eric was dressed. Eric had his whole Jedi robe on. I mean, he was ready to go.
Your major cosplay, there you go.
Yeah. But, I just had my t-shirt.
I don't remember what I had. I parked out in the very front street.
Yeah.
The very front of the street was where I parked, blasting my music.
I mean, remember. Oh yeah.
My spot was there. It became a front street party, and then it turned into
even the wait. It was like a party. It was just it was awesome. I mean, there's nothing.
Did we order food?
To describe it. Yeah, we got food from Brothers actually. Brothers literally.
I think we ordered
a block away. We got Brothers.
It was down the street.
Yep.
It was down
the block.
It was down the street then. But that just brings a whole heck of a lot. We'll do one more major thing here, and when we're talking about Star Wars, that's another thing we get to is you are a big movie buff.
I am.
Yep. You and the wife. You watch a lot of movies, whether it is streaming or you get a chance to get out once in a while.
It's been a while.
You're very big on Star Wars, very big on the Jaws series.
Yep.
What are you watching right now?
So currently, I just finished the new Mission Impossible. Just saw it. Yeah, I know. I'm behind on theater time, which was
I'm
great.
the same way.
I'm ready to go. I'm ready for the new one to come out. I don't know when it comes out, but the new one was great. Um, I don't know, man. I'm just kind of trying to find something that's going to grab my attention and suck me in. There really isn't anything that's like out there that's grasping at me, saying you need to watch this.
I can be honest, just even for me, just being just a green YouTuber, I don't watch as many movies as I used to. Going to the movies is tough because everything's priced jacked up now. Everything is. We know to blame for that. But at the same time, it's like you either have the experience to do that, or it's not to say having the balls to get up and go to a movie on your own,
right?
But
which I have done many times.
I've done a couple times myself. But a lot of this stuff changed when the pandemic hit.
Yeah.
Because a lot of the production stopped. And then when they did finish it, they didn't even put it on the movies. They just went straight to streaming. And Eddie Murphy did a couple of those. Tom Cruise did a couple. And a handful of them. There wasn't a lot because nobody could do a whole heck of a lot of anything during the pandemic.
I've said this before the pandemic, like even years before the pandemic, that streaming is going to kill the movie theater. And slowly but surely, it's happening.
And I understand. There's still people trying to build movie places because they don't. One, I think, is they don't want that experience to leave high def and everything like that. The old school tapes and everything like that, they're gone.
I mean, everything's
digital.
Cassettes are coming back.
Cassettes are slowly coming back.
Yep.
But
LPs came back.
Mm-hmm. Another thing is just like I think the not necessarily movie studios, Carmike, and a couple others.
Yeah.
I think they wanted a better experience. That's why. I mean, the prices, getting your popcorn, getting your soda, whatever, they're going to be astronomical. It's going to be everywhere.
For one person, it's more than $20 to go see a movie. Just get your ticket and a drink. It's more than 20. It's like $23.
And they're trying to change the seating. It's more comfortable now. Like they're bigger seats now.
Recliners. Yeah.
Like I know it's an arm and a leg just to be like, well, I want to sit in those seats because they're more comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're going to have a movie that comes out that's so massive, I mean, people are going to be fighting for those seats.
The last movie I saw was in theater was Spider-Man, No Way Home. Went by myself. It was during the pandemic, and we all sat there with masks on. But it was actually a good time. It wasn't like Star Wars, but it was fun. You have the whole feeling of waiting in line and like not camping out, but I mean, it was like, I don't know, 2-hour wait. And just brought back nostalgia. It just felt good, like this is how it should be. But
that was a good saga. I've never seen it yet, but I've seen the first three.
Yeah,
the first one. I mean, the new ones that came out with, I mean, Topher Grace did the first one.
No,
or who was it?
He was in the first series. It was, I can't think of his name now.
Andrew Garfield is one of them.
He did the second one, but. Man, Tobey Maguire did.
Tobey Maguire. I couldn't remember. No, Topher Grace. The guy was in that '70s show. He played Venom.
Yes,
that's what it was. Yep. It was the third one.
Yep.
And we remember who was the villains on that. So Venom was in that. Sandman was in it.
Yep, that was in Garfield's version.
That was in Garfield's version. Doc Ock was in the second one, which was a good one.
The second one was probably my favorite
because that was. I mean. I don't know where else but even the first one wasn't bad because how many people do you know who's going to play Green Goblin like Willem Dafoe did?
Oh, Willem Dafoe killed it. He killed it.
There's nobody else. I mean, not even any CGI could probably make the Green Goblin make that more lifelike than Willem Dafoe.
Yeah, he did the best job ever. I don't know who I would recast if I were to reshoot that or remake it. I have no idea.
And then I remember I didn't watch the newer ones because Jamie Foxx was Electro.
Yep.
And one of the guys, I don't know who it was, did the Lizard. Is that the name of the character?
Yep.
So that's how big Spider-Man got. And then Spider-Man was in a majority of the stuff of the Avenger movies and and all that stuff. And that's just way too
Spider-Man.
much. But that was different Spider-Man,
right.
though. And I remember watching a lot of that stuff. What was your take on some of the Avengers stuff?
I love the Avengers. The movies were super huge. The only thing about Marvel I don't like is if you do not watch, Iron Man 1, you're not going to understand any of the rest of the story. Where Iron Man came from, it's just like it's all gelled. So basically, the Avengers series is like a 50-hour movie.
That almost takes me away from getting away from the Avengers, because now there's just, don't you think there's a little bit too much?
Yeah, a little bit.
Like there's a Marvel movie like every 3 months.
I don't mind that.
I've seen all 3 Iron Mans.
Yep.
I've seen the first Thor. I've seen the first Hulk. I've seen the first Captain America. Yep. Finally, I didn't get into Winter Soldier. I didn't get into Age of Ultron, and I know Age of Ultron leads to End of
Endgame.
Endgame. It leads to that, and people are still saying that's one of the most craziest endings in movie history.
Endgame is good.
And Endgame was. And remind everybody, because it's just the tip of my tongue, who played Thanos?
Oh, wasn't it? Josh Brolin.
Josh Brolin, the guy who was in Goonies.
Yep, Josh Brolin from Goonies.
It's a Goonies reference. Yep. That we still know. We still know the Goonies from back in the day.
Love that
Absolutely, movie. That's an iconic brand is the Goonies. But we're so big in some of those stuff in there. I'll go one last take on this and then we'll shut this thing down because we're going to definitely cram this whole thing together. You were a big movie buff, and I know we still on and off talk, but we've had our times as we were adults. Megan's been awesome. You got a great 3-year-old daughter, a Christmas baby.
Christmas baby.
And just, things can't be any better as we're basically hiding in your man cave.
Yeah, basically.
I got to jump back here. You gave me a T-shirt at your brother's wedding.
Yep. With
this face.
Get the merch. It's right here.
This guy right here. I have a T-shirt.
Yep.
And I presented it like I was traded.
I have the photo.
I have the photo somewhere on that myself, and that just shows I was all 3 of this guy's family's weddings. I was at yours.
Yep.
Went to Craig's, and we went out to the middle of nowhere and got to Aaron's.
Yep.
So I still remember your mom and dad. Your mom and dad are legends. God bless them. Your dad still hunts.
Still hunts. Still fishes.
He still hunts and fish. He'll go fly out to the middle of Idaho and go find a buck.
Yep.
He'll go find an elk, a gazelle, or whatever. That's how deep he is in it, and he still is at his edge. Your mom could run for president. That's how hardcore your mother is, and I'll say it with a straight face. But at the same time, your mother was very like whenever I was around, it was like not necessarily I was one of the kids. She's always sitting there. You want any more of this? I have more of this. How's your mom doing this? She'll ask 9,000 questions. Probably does that in her work, but you came from a great family and all that. But both the grandparents.
We are family.
Both the grandparents were awesome. I still love them to death.
Miss them.
Miss them. And my mother still does a lot for the family on and off. Uncle has the old house now, and he's happy. God love him, and he's still doing his fishing thing every other week. He's in his camper, and he's out this. He'll make a fishing trip to South Carolina. Patty's with him, and whatever.
Yep.
So everything goes great, and I almost kind of just wrap this up because I know we're going to talk more often. And it's just. Whenever we decide to do more of these, you're going to come up with more ideas. We might do this online and whatever. But send this out because if Mike wants to get involved, Bodon gets involved, I want this to get out because we are going to be doing this more often. I might even try to do something like, 10 questions, burn through or whatever.
Right.
So, I'm just going to go on the fly. Favorite Zelda game?
Dude, it's the first one.
The first
Zelda,
one?
yeah. Maybe Link to the Past. I don't know.
I might just go Link to the Past.
Link to the Past is amazing. The story's deep.
I'm going to love this one. Madden or NHL?
NHL. Why would you even ask that? He's done. It's done.
It could be done. It could be done. Marvel or DC?
Oh, dude, Marvel. Although Batman is like one of my all-time favorite characters, but Marvel, better content.
Which game, Spider-Man or Batman?
Which game? Oh, ooh. I have to say I like the Arkham series.
I
It's
think
good.
I kind of like the
It's
Arkham
real
series.
good.
I played
Yeah.
them all.
Yep.
I didn't touch Suicide Squad yet, but that just seems like it just throws it off. It's whack, but it's good.
Yeah.
I'm hearing it's good things about it. But I played all the Arkham games: Arkham Asylum, Knight, and the last one. But I'm
Arkham
not
City.
doing those freaking Riddler trophies. You can kick my. I'm
No,
not.
I get it's.
I guess maybe 70. I'm like, and I watched the end of it on YouTube, and I'm like, I'm not doing all this crap.
I know. I get it.
If you don't know why you do half the stuff and trying to find all certain stuff, and you have nothing better to do with your life.
Yep.
In any game you do, because. And what game are you doing right now? You were telling me you were doing the two Gods of War.
Yep. So I played every God of War game. I love that series. It's probably my top 3 all time. But right now I'm finishing Valhalla, and it's pretty amazing. I love it.
The last Assassin's Creed game I played, I believe, was Origins, the Egyptian one.
Okay. I've played.
Then I just saw every single game after that was almost the same game.
It
Odyssey,
was, yeah.
And then there was the one after that. I can't remember what. There was one after that, Mirage.
That's
and then
the new one.
The Mirage it was Mirage, and then Valhalla and then Valhalla.
Mirage,
And I heard the new one's going to be coming out. It's going to be in Japan, but right now, I mean, whenever I get a time, because I do some of the videos and I know work. Once in a while, I took a break from Fortnite for a week because I want the new Yakuza game, which I found out it's not on GameFly, so it's digital only.
Really?
The Man Who Erased His Name is supposed to be the sequel to Song of Life. That's digital, so I have to download it to my 4.
Yep.
I'll get the 5 eventually. You have a PS5, but I'll get the 5 eventually. I don't need it immediately, but I'll get that. And then there's another one that's called Like a Dragon, Infinite Wealth or something, but it has nothing to do with that story. I want to play that game, and that game alone is going to will get me through. Because after I played every single Yakuza game, I'm sitting here going, if you can deal with the Japanese acting and voiceover, you learn so much Japanese watching and listening. I mean, people like their Zelda, people like their God of Wars and their Verizon's going to be on Netflix. I'm looking forward to that.
Horizon. So they're making a show?
They are doing their Horizon Zero Dawn is coming to Netflix. I think it's next year.
I know Amazon's doing a God of War show.
Well, they're doing. I heard
a series at some point.
I heard they're doing that. I heard Fallout's coming.
That is. I actually saw the trailer for that, and
I never played Fallout, but I've heard good things about it.
I like it.
So that's another thing we can talk about on another episode, like what is supposed to be coming on TV, streaming, or whatever. But there's just so much that just brings me to.
Him and I got a lot of history.
There's just too much. There's too much to put in together. Who knows? This episode might be split in 2.
That's okay.
I'm all right with that.
Yeah.
What do you have to do today?
Get groceries.
Get groceries. That's adulting.
Yeah, adulting. Yeah.
Dude, it's been an honor.
Man, it's been a pleasure.
I absolutely. Every time I get a chance to run into you.
Yeah.
I mean, regardless, good or bad, we've always had. I won't necessarily say like iconic moments. We've had insane moments, but we're family.
Yep.
And am I going to have these talks like that when I have somebody else, or whether I'm doing online casts like the Volume, like the Volume, or what Shannon Sharp does with Nightcap? I don't know, but being this could very well split into 2. There might be a part 1 going out, and it depends on what we do. It might be a part 2. But I hope we do this again.
Absolutely.
This is our family. We get you get knowledge, we put all this stuff together, and we are in a makeshift man cave that this guy built with the help of his wife. And did you know for how long?
Oh, man. Since 15, 16?
Something right around that, almost 9 years.
Mm-hmm.
and we're in 2024, and this is what we get. And I've never been more proud of you.
Thank you.
I do my stuff, and
you do very well.
And most of the time, as I get older, it's like to the point where I let people do their thing, and always let people know we're still around.
Yeah.
You might be an hour away, but you're still around. You still do your own thing. She does her work. You do yours. You raise a great daughter who's already running around thinking she knows everything, which is the 3-year-old, which is the 3-year-old's thing.
Yep.
Dude, let's do this again sometime.
Absolutely, man. Let's do
I
this.
appreciate it. We are always going to be family.
Yeah.
Rest in peace, Apollo Creed. God,
I forgot Carl Weathers.
I
man.
know. We could have threw that one in there.
Carl Weathers.
Oh, it's sad.
That's sad.
Dude, do you know who's left? It's Rocky and Drago, and Mr. T.
Mr. T's still around.
Oh,
Mr.
and
T's,
Tommy David. No, Tommy Morrison's.
He's
passed too.
He passed a while ago.
What happened to Union Kane?
Good question.
There's the biggest question of them all.
Rico, most underrated boxer ever.
Oh, and Union Kane got beaten, what, 1 round?
Yep.
Ladies and gentlemen,
we could do a Rocky episode. I mean,
could we ever?
That's a whole series right there.
Yeah, good old Rocky. I thought he was supposed to come back in the next Creed, but that's fumes coming out of an ant farm.
Yep.
Who knows?
Creed 4.
God only knows.
Rocky's ghost.
Rocky's ghost. Get up, you son of a... Because Mickey loves you. Guys, if you want to hear and watch more of this stuff, dude, we are going to be doing more of these, whether it is like the volume on the internet, but finding this guy on one of my days off, he's lucky he's off, just to get a chance to hang out with us. And I'm happy that you guys got a chance to hang out with us again. We will do this again soon, back in my whatever hideout that we did, and it is on Locate with JJ. And until then, as always, the bar is closed. And, bro, pizza shop's closed too.
Yeah, you got to make some new pizzas.
Should we do the pineapple? Should we do that pineapple Gatorade version?
Oh, the pineapple Gatorade.
Another story for another day. And until then, we will see each and every single one of you bloody legends on the next one. That is Paul Campy Campamizzi. I am Jimmy Jam.
Jimmy Jam.
And it is Inner Circle, and I need to get out over the mountain or stop somewhere and get food or whatever. See you bloody legends on the next one. The bar is closed. We're done. We're done?
Yeah, we're done.
We're done. Let's get the flip out of here.
Oh, not bad, dude.
Laters!